All right, welcome to the first UFC 4 video. All I'm asking for is 250 likes before I start work on the next video. We gonna get right into it. As you see, it's rated T for teen, so don't think you're gonna be seeing a lot of extra blood. So getting right into the content here, the first thing is we see these new venues. Bang it out in the backyard or surround yourself in the storied tradition of the Kumite. Both are possible in all new locations of UFC 4, plus fight at the UFC Apex action venue. Whether you're inspired by backyard brawlers or underground warriors, your fighting style will be shaped by these all new immersive environments. So for the story mode, we're going to have a whole lot more content. As you can see, this is the backyard content. And the first thing I saw here, we got a shot at George Masvidal, and he's doing a minor sway of a head kick. And we know in UFC 4, unless you just time things just perfectly, that's something that you do not want to do. So maybe minor sways and sways could be even more viable, because it was very dangerous to move your head if you didn't know. And also in the backyard, Masvidal is already throwing the famous knee. All right, now look, the first shot of the backyard reminds me of GTA 5 or something, man. This is awesome.
Did I have fights in the street? Yeah, but that was many years ago.
Now they show Masvidal in the clinch, in the backyard, fluid clinch control. UFC 4 introduces real player motion technology into the art of the clinch, creating fluid experience driven by positional and physical context. And this is something Gameplay Dev tweeted a lot about yesterday, how it's just going to be so fluid when you're coming in and out of that clinch.
People trying to take my head off, that was always my safe zone.
All right, let's run that back. Now, you see Masvidal is doing a minor sway, and there's no follow-up at that time because you probably don't have the ability. And then you take the same archetype into the UFC, and then you see he's able to throw that spinning back fist off of the sway, man. Now, we get our first look at Israel Adesanya. Looking at the UFC 3 version, this is the upgrade that we all wanted. Now, moving on, rather than giving you complete control over your created fighter attributes like in previous years, UFC 4 gives you several archetypes to choose from. There are 12 creative fighter archetypes that you can choose, Hayes said. Now, these 12 archetypes were created meant to competitively be balanced. So whenever you fight up against licensed fighters, you won't just have an OP calf. Now, they show Israel Adesanya rocking Kevin Gastelum. And now let's talk about this rock state. For the most exciting moments of any fight come when one of the athletes connects with a high amplitude combination or a big strike that wobbles their opponent. For these moments, UFC delivers a new presentation elements to further highlight the moment. In addition to better facial and body ripple effects, better showcase the impact of the strike, a new red border appears around the screen to indicate a hurt fighter, and the sound temporarily gives an echo effect. Now, continuing on with this archetype, let's run that back. If you like all of that old school Muay Thai, Kumite, this is going to be like your archetype for you. Welcome to the Machida era. Now, we see fancy footwork is back. This archetype is going to have that fancy footwork, and this looks like a new animation for that question mark kick. Excited to see this archetype. It's going to be a fun one for all you strikers out there. Now let's run that back. Now you might say this just looks like a regular combo, but this is a new change. New dynamic striking introduces a tap hold system that lets you determine if you want to throw a quick strike or more powerful ones based on how long you hold a button. Hayes says this system was designed to be less complicated for players and should be more intuitive when trying to throw a variety of strikes. So that's going to be something totally different. Throwing combinations based on how long you hold a button. Get in the comments below and let me know what you think of that. Now, we've been begging for body scans, and it looks like we have some unique body scans here. If you see that leg of Israel, looks definitely totally different than any other fighter that I've seen so far. Bodies included. Everybody's body looks a little bit different. We get a glimpse of Francis Ngannou, huge right hand on Curtis Blades. Maybe they sending him a message. You see Kamaru Usman probably taking down Tyron Woodley, and one of my favorite fighters, Kimbo Slice, right here in the backyard as that boxer. Now you already know was probably what I'm going to pick. Now let's get into the meat of this stuff. This new submission system right here. Notice the submission defense, and you're trying to break their hands open, so you got softening strikes before you just jump right into that submission. Now, the annoying submission mini game from UFC Games Pass is now going replaced by 2 simpler mini games that activate depending on if you're going for a choke or joint manipulation submission. On top of that, fighters can now strike one another during submission struggles to soften up the target, while defending fighters can utilize slams to escape some submission attempts. So it'll be a totally different game for the submission system. For everyone that didn't like the previous one, now we got to learn a new one. So let's get good at that. Look at this. We got a shot at Bruce Lee versus Anderson Silva. You had to be really quick to catch this one in that Kumite archetype. That one's going to be loaded for strikers, for sure. And again, the famous knee on Ben Askren. So touch gloves at your own risk. People are going to be throwing that knee. Then we got a shot at Conor McGregor, a new look Conor McGregor, different little hairstyle. I wish we could have different hairstyles to choose from. That would be cool, man. Huge left hand there from Conor McGregor, followed by an uppercut there. Now, some people say this is a fake hook kick into a spinning kick. First look at Ponzinibbio there. Now, notice the context here, introducing the real player motion tech. Off balance, Joanna gets hit by that spinning kick from Shevchenko, and look, end up getting a knockdown. Daniel Cormier slamming someone, not sure who that is. And we got an all new ground and pound. With the ground and pound overhaul, UFC 4 puts you in more control of postured up scenarios, giving the striker more tools to aim and pick their spots, and the defender access more tools like head movement and well-timed counter transitions. What does that mean? When you're on the bottom, you'll have a lot more tools to defend yourself and get out of that situation. The Lioness Amanda Nunes with that new leg tap takedown that Frankie Edgar made so popular. For those who have always struggled with the grappling, UFC 4 adds a new grapple assist mode, which gives you more approachable controls using the left stick to get up, submit, and perform ground and pound. Players can choose from these styles of grappling controls: grapple assist, hybrid, and legacy. So no more worrying about the ground game. They're giving you assists, more tools to get out. So no more excuses about he took you down to the ground. They're like literally giving you everything. A nice look at Amanda Nunes. This is a variation of the single collar tie. And notice you can throw knees to the face in single collar. You don't have to go all the way to the Muay Thai. So it makes that position even more viable. That was kind of a throwaway position. Justin Gaethje, again, with that rolling thunder's back. Tony Ferguson get a shot. Now, this is the thing that everyone is excited about. Let's run that back. Khabib Nurmagomedov starts out in this single leg here, and we have a takedown overhaul. UFC 4 introduces RPM tech into takedown gameplay as well. With a multitude of new takedown animations, players will feel a larger spectrum of outcomes driven by user control and fighter attributes. Now, this is what we wanted, like that scramble situation that doesn't always play out the same. And so after that attempt of the single leg, you see it might have gotten denied, and he goes, scrambles right to the back, and then able to get the takedown from there. So it looks like a more realistic kind of struggle that you normally see in a realistic UFC match or any type of grappling match. But when you're down there, you got so many tools in the new submission system, but then you got so many different ways to get out. And look at that. We even got a new postured up position. The belly on the knee looks like from like a half guard position there. And new ground and pound, there is the first look at that new UFC belt. I'm sure the attachments that you win after defending every championship fight will come into play. But look at this first look at the standing guillotine. That's something new that we didn't have in UFC 3, because that standing guillotine would always go down to the ground. So it looks like you got an all new submission system even on the feet. So I'm getting hype about that. And that's the new cover. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think of that new cover. The release date and all of the bonuses, August 14th. The release date, but with EA Access comes out earlier than that, August 7th. And then we got a demo, a closed beta, I should say, coming out before that. So in the weeks to come, we're going to be playing the game. First look at Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Andrei Arlovsky. So we getting a lot of little cameos in the trailer. That's Anthony Joshua, and this is, of course, what you were going to get with that pre-order bonuses. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, for all of those fight night fans out there, is something in UFC here for you. So even more stand-up content here for all of those boxers out there. You're going to definitely get the best in boxing right here, so you might as well come over, enjoy a shot of Tyson Fury. He's going to probably be sick in the game. We're not close to done yet. So now this is a big one for online rank, man. This time around, rather than asking you which weight class you want to compete at, the division rotates, giving you a fresh roster to choose from. That was from Game Informer. Please get in the comments and let me know what you think about that. That's a big change there. Now, just yesterday, somebody asked Gameplay Dev about, could you pull guard? Gameplay Dev says yes. That wasn't even in the trailer. You will also have blitz battles. Fast-paced modes pits you against other fighters online, competing in a round-based rapid-fire tournaments. Quick fights now have leaderboards for wins and finishes. I worked really hard on the video to pack in as much information as humanly possible. And we're looking for only 250 likes on this video. Help your boy out. Share the video. Please subscribe and just tear those comments up and let me know what you think about UFC 4, and we'll tweet them back and forth. Have fun with it. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the octagon in UFC 4. To the next video. Peace.